What's up, nation? This is your brother from another mother. No other. Don't look like Danny Glover, but I keep it cool with you all the time as I sit in my rocking chair, regulating my mind to a place, elevating for this thing for tomorrow as we try to pick up things and put pieces and places together as we try to go through this thing called the stormy weathers of life. What's going on with you guys, man? So tomorrow's a big day, not just for me, but for everyone, right? We got to win. We must win, must figure out a way to win. Winning is the name and the part of the game. In order to be in this thing, you got to remain sane to your mind. I just dropped a video, Cold Nation. For those who don't know, what we doing here is with Cowboys experience. The experience aspect of Cowboys is that every home game, we at least have several players, current NFL players of Dallas Cowboys or past, former, to come out to show their love and support. So you guys can have something physical, tangible to touch, whether it be a question or whether it be an autograph, things like that. So we'll be live like 95 at the Lava Cantina on next Saturday. So I want to see you guys there. Y'all beautiful faces. I want to see you all out there. Shout out to Carlo, Justin, girl that Steak. I think that girl that Steak. I said it right, huh? Shout out to you. Salute. Carlos 14. Thank you everybody for tuning in. The few that's here. We're going to make this thing happen one way or another if we can keep our mind, our head, our fortitude of thoughts together and gel this thing together. It can happen. I heard news that David Irvin, he's not going to show up. That's cool. That's okay. Malik Collins, he's still having problems with his foot. I don't think T. Will is going to be out there. So we down 3 guys. So it's time for the other guys to pick it up, step it up, be ready, be pumped, get live, get crunk. They're going to have to be out there down there in Houston. Shout out to those who are in this chat box who's going there. Yes, indeed. Was that freely spoken one? I appreciate you, man. Thank you for tuning in. Don't forget to hit that share button. Subscribe to this account. Show me some love if you guys can, So all I do is I sit back and I talk Cowboys talk all day, even twice on Sunday. We get this thing going one way or another. Hey, man, from Australia, the land down under. And remember, you're listening to Nothing But the Best from Australia. Tavon needs to get more involved. Yes, I agree. Tavon needs to be a part of this thing. I want Tavon to be a part. I want the Dallas Cowboys to not just use him 3 times and then they say, okay, 1 out of the 3 times he make a big play and then they say, okay, let's put him in some bubble wrap. They don't need to do that. They need to figure out a way to put him in ball, get him the ball, put him in motion, put him inside, flank him outside if you can. Dak Prescott need to methodically move the ball down the field. Don't force it. Don't pressure anything. If it's not there, just run it out of bounds or throw it away. He can do that. Ezekiel Elliott need to eat. He need to stay in bounds. Need to hold the ball correctly. Even though we won last game, I should have pointed out sometimes that he had the ball freely. But that's cool. That's cool. We're going to keep it positive, right? Yes, indeed. Kareem, what's going on with you, man? Shout out to you. Big fan. This is the first time I caught you live freely. Hey, man, freely spoken of the mind, hoping that you can understand and wrap these things together that I'm saying, that we have to figure out a way to start off fast. I'm trying to feel like I'm rhyming today, so you guys going to have to deal with this because my mind is running 3,000 times again and again and again like a patented pen. My mind is a 9 and my tongue is a trigger. Yes, we're going to get this thing going one way or another. This is your brother. Media, thank you for joining in. Pear Armin, thank you for joining in. Troy Powers, what kind of powers you got? Got the powers of the mind. Appreciate y'all joining in. Don't forget to hit that share button. Thank y'all for waving. What's your thoughts on Rico? I think he can be a big weapon. Rico is a big weapon. I know that Rico is a big weapon. The problem is with Rico, and the problem is with Dak too, is that they gonna have to get on the same page. And as long as Jarwin and Swain are catching touchdowns or picking up blocks, Rico may have a hard time. But I think that Rico should be on his team. I think that if they just go all in on Rico, just give him all the opportunities, I think that he will blossom. He'll show that he can play. He's 6 foot. I'm gonna go and say 6'7". I do notice some say 6'6", 6'8". I'm gonna go in the middle. He's 6'7". Big burly type of guy that can run in and out of his breaks. Pretty cool. They just got to connect. I think confidence is everything for Rico Suave. Calvin Love, man, thank you for joining in. Let's get this win tomorrow. 9, yeah. Yeah, you got to get this win. We must win. One step drop, yeah. Quick hitters, quick hitters would help. Yeah, Freely, yeah, you're right. If you can figure out a way. If you can figure out a way to 3-step drop, lob it up to Rico and say, hey, this is a basketball, not even a football at this point. Post your man out, get big down below, swat if you can, and attack the ball when it's in the air. And Dak Prescott, he don't need to missile it. I know why he's missing it. He don't want to have somebody to run up under him. And that takes chemistry. It takes time. And I understand. This is what tickles me. And I know some of you guys can relate. We seeing Pat Mahomes out there, and everybody's goggling and googly eyes over Pat Mahomes. But granted, the guy got a rocket for an arm. He don't have a noodle arm or anything like that, and then he's accurate. But if you give me Travis Frederick, not for Travis Frederick, but you can give me Travis Frederick, but you give me Travis Kelce, and you give me the wideouts that they have on their team, and we already know that Andy Reid, he comes from a system. Andy Reid comes all the way down from the 49ers system. He started out coaching for the 49ers, moved and started coaching for the Green Bay Packers. And then he eventually got promoted and got elevated to the Philadelphia Eagles. They always been, for the years that Andy Reid been with the Filthy, they always been a team that was methodically pushing the ball down the field regardless of the quarterbacks. Now, we've seen this story before. The quarterbacks look like, oh, wow, they just unstoppable. But then the playoff time comes, he folded up like a week 10. And that just goes on, man. Right now, he's having his moment. It's not cold out there yet. And he can missile that ball, throw the ball, put the money on the ball everywhere it needs to be. But the tight end, I'm going to say this again. The tight end is always a young quarterback best friend. Tight end running backs. Of course, the offensive line. You can have that. And then if you can have a coach that can put you in positionings to win, there's nothing special about Nick Foles. Coach put him in nice positioning for them to win that Super Bowl. Golf. We saw what happened to Golf when they had Fisher, right? Now look at Golf. They got a coach that can identify his strengths and eliminate his weaknesses, and that's when you have the growth factor. And then on top of that, it's just like this too. It took him a minute in time for him to get to the right places. And I'm not saying all this to cover up for Dak Prescott. Of course, he have his flaws, but that's just how it goes. Shout out to 9. What's going on? We need to lean on the running game tomorrow. Zeke needs a big game for us to win. Yeah, Ezekiel Elliott needs that big game. More so. I always say this validation is only good for parking. But I also say this too. When you have Ezekiel Elliott and everybody, all the naysayers are talking about how the Cowboys are horrible and this sort of thing, especially with the defense not having an interception and things like that, we need another big game from Ezekiel. And then what that's going to do, it's going to trickle down. A big game by Zeke means big game for Dak Prescott. Because they 1 and 2 together. That combination of Ezekiel Elliott and Dak Prescott, that just makes everything right. But if one is looking sloppy, the other one's going to look sloppy. But it's just how it goes, man. I wish I could explain it better. But we do need a big game. Golf sucks with Fisher. Yeah. He was considered a bust at that time. You're right, Nine. Yeah. It's coaching. It's from Bowman. 81. I like that number. It's cold number 81. It's percentages with coaches, you know. Sometimes you have to win in spite of the coach. That's just how it goes. That's just how it is. Fred, what's going on, man? Thank you for tuning in to the nation. And remember, you're listening in to nothing but the bass. My boy Timmy said Cowboys gonna lose. TM bad. Shout out to Timmy. Not sure Thomas Timmy. Yes, 1 and 2 together. Some read options should slow down Clowney in the edge rush. You should run right at Clowney. I'll take the ball. I call it the peel, and I give him that good medicine. I would take Ezekiel Elliott, and I'll run right at him. I'll give him a heavy dose of number 21 and number 45. Yeah, I'll give him a heavy dose of that. Yeah, that's what I would do. I'll give him a heavy dose. Yes, indeed. What do you think of Jason Garrett? I said this in one of my streams. I never had full faith in Jason because how he got the job is kind of crashed away. And but Jason Garrett collectively is a good guy. He's a good guy. I think that Jason Garrett is not a coach. He's a motivator. I think that what will benefit Jason Garrett if he was like somewhere in the booth somewhere, calling the plays, just calling the play type of guy. But he so happened to be our coach. And I don't like the Cowboys at all. I love the Cowboys. You guys know how I'm feeling. You know I love the Cowboys. And it's just like I can't get mad at the cook. I can get mad at the chef. That's on the menu. I just got to eat it. I'm like in purgatory. I'm like, with this situation, the best analogy that I can use is that I'm in purgatory. Neither heaven or hell. You know, I'm just like right in the middle with Jason Garrett. I see some missing opportunities that if he had some like a different type of voice, then maybe we can win this thing all the way, you know. But until it's proven, until Jason Garrett can prove to me that he can make these adjustments, I'm always going to be in this middle feeling. And I know some of you guys feel the same way. I know that some of us would never say it or mention it, but we collectively feel like, damn, Jason, if we so happen to get a bye week in the playoff, it's going to be horrible for us because that time off is just going to be scary. And then on top of that, even if we get to the Super Bowl, we will have one of those coaches that we know for sure, because we have yet to see it. Like in the last 10 years or more, we have yet to see him like come off for like 2 weeks prepared and just going to stump out a team. We have yet to see that. So it just seemed like even if we get to the biggest dance, I'm going to party all day, man. You guys going to see me pull out my hen and my Alizé. I'm going to be like pulling it out. And I'm going to just be drinking. I'm going to be stone-faced. I'm going to be crunk. I'll have my shirt off. I'm going to be running around here like, yeah, we in the Super Bowl. Yeah, you know. But the problem is I already know deep down in my heart and mind, I'm going to be like, Lord, Jason Garrett. I know you're going to be like clapping on the sidelines, and then you're going to pull out that same playbook. We're going to be calling every place, and the other team's going to be prepared. We're going to be just trying to get there. That's just how it goes, man. I wish I could think otherwise, but I will be delusional at that point, right? What's up, y'all, man? Juan, what's going on with you, man? 81. Yeah. What's up, Fred? I know it's early, but what you think of drafting? What we think we drafting first next year? Oh, man, that's a good question. That's a real good question. That's a real good question, man. It just depends on how this year folds out. Like if Dak Prescott bottoms out, then we going right there with a quarterback. If Dak Prescott somehow just turned the corner, and if he turned the corner, and Ezekiel Elliott doing his deal on the offense, and then his offense, we better not do offensive line. If the offensive line stay where they are, It can be one of those drafts where you draft a tight end, or you go defensive, because I'm a defensive minded guy, and you just get the best safety in life, wherever we picking at. And the problem is that I can bet you money. I can bet you money now we won't be on the bottom half. I see this team at least winning 7 to 8, 9 games. So you're gonna be in the middle picking a draft pick. That's just how it goes, A lot of people go out there and they say, well, look at the Rams, man. Look what they got. Look at Gurley. Look at Goff. Look at this guy. Look at Brandon whatever Cooks, and look at the defensive front that they got and everything like that. But they fail to realize that the Rams were losing for a long time, and I ain't talking about like 8-8 losing. They were like 5-11 and 4-12, 4-12. You get a lot of cream of the crop when you lose a lot. Cowboys never lose a lot. We've been in the middle of the road for the last 25 years. That goes to show you, that's why when you look down our draft picks, that we always have that mid-range talent. And the only times that we had a chance to get those good picks in the early rounds, we squander it, And the jury's still out on Ezekiel Elliott. I love Ezekiel. But he's a running back, and a running back life expectancy is maximum of 3 years. So this is going into his 3rd year. So hopefully he can find the rabbit foot, and we can have him for another 6 or 7 years. But at that point, you can argue the fact that he regardless of the situation or the scenario, that at that age of his career, that he would not have the same value of a Jalen Ramsey. Now, I could be wrong. Ezekiel Elliott could have one of those magical healing powers, whereas he can be like, I'm running for 6 years, 7 years strong, the same pace as I was running first years. And then let's look at our other pick that we had early. I ain't talking about the quote unquote Byron Jones of the word. We talking football. Can we talk football? Can we talk football? The last early pick that we had Mo Claiborne. You guys know how that turned out. We moved up close into the draft. We moved up closer to get him. We picked him up, and he was touted as being one of the best cornerbacks in the league, right? Coming out of the draft at that time. He was some scouts said his grade was better than Deion Sanders. I'm saying man, come on now. Come on. He wasn't that good at LSU. And I don't know who was looking at those tapes at the time. But they sold Jerry Jones on that, and Jerry Jones said, okay, I'll move up. And if you look at that draft, we had a chance to get, who's that draft? I think we picked Mo Claiborne in front of Luke Kuechly. That goes to show you how valuable that draft is. And you guys know who all came out of that draft. I don't want to start mentioning names because I'll probably be off on a little of them because I got to. What's up? Zeke will be that guy, bro. When we hang his cleats up, he'll be wearing a gold jacket. This is from 9. No doubt. No doubt. No doubt. No doubt. I believe in Zeke. But I'm saying there's past history. And I'm not trying to be negative Law Nation, but I'm just telling you how history goes with the Cowboys as of lately with those draft picks. But shout out to Zeke. Zeke gonna bust it open tomorrow. Maybe get 183 yards. What's up? No, I'm saying what would we draft as a position? I was thinking tight end or safety, depending on Earl. Yeah, we should draft a tight end. We should get out Travis Kelce, or Gronkowski or somebody like that. We need somebody like that. Although then we can still develop the other tight end, since we like to run 12 personnel so much. I think that the Cowboys are incapable of running their offense without a tight end on the field. So why not go out there and get the best tight end that you can find? So next year I can be thank you for tuning in to the Law Nation Film Session as we take a deeper look at this tight end from blah, blah, blah. Or there are other problems been safety. We didn't address the safety at all. And one can argue the fact if safety play was a little bit better in Seattle, that game would have been a little respectable. If safety play was a little bit better in this last previous game that we played, even with the Lions, although we won, safety play could have cost us the game. It's just one of those things where we need a ball hawk. That's why we have so little success in INTs. We play this cover 2 defense. I've seen them sprinkle in a little cover 3, but majority of the time we play cover 2. And the thing is with the cover 2, what you got to have with your safeties: range, instincts, being able to take the ball and pluck the ball out of the sky. When you playing that press tight man cover, your safety got to take a better angle to when they come off that release at the top of their route. The safety got to peel back and get over there and snatch the ball away and make the quarterback think twice of trying to needle that ball in those tight windows. But on top of that, the problem is with the cover 2 is that it's vulnerable to like seam routes, your straight vertical routes when you line your guy into the wire or into your inline route and he running the ball up the field vertically because your safety so quote unquote are deep and they line out wide on the hash. So you can penetrate that. Those who play Madden out there, and you got a guy that always playing that cover 2, hit him with a vertical seam route, hit him with slants. Because with those slants too, all you got to do is worry about the mic. If you can find a mic on the cover 2 defense, then you can exploit those slants, meaning that you might have to motion and move, you might have to hard count, but you can see who the mic is at that point. You slant them right there. Now, it's easier said than done how I'm talking about this, but that's just the way the game goes, guys. It's always the predictability with the cover 2. That's why most colleges and most high school play the cover 2. It's easy defense to learn. All right, is Richard calling the plays, or did Marinelli take over? I think Richard is calling most of the deep back plays, and I think that Rob Marinelli still have like control of the front 4. But I think they do a little mixture of both depending on the down and out distance. Believe it or not, they got a look coaching on the side type of groove. This may be Rob Marinelli's last year, to be honest with you. Richard never called plays, did he? BK, yeah, he called the Giants game. Calvin Ridley or LVE. Shout out to you, Toby. Calvin Ridley was a guy that was high on my board, but here's the conundrum. Calvin Ridley got 6 touchdowns now. He's showing that he can play. But it's easy for him when you got Julio Jones on one end of the corner. You got a dynamic running back that you got. Then you got I ain't going to call Matt Ryan like the best thing since sliced bread. But he got one-on-ones, and then he motioning. They motion him inside. They moving him outside as the Z, as number 2 receiver too. So I think that he's eating on it largely part is that team saying, okay, I don't want number 11 to beat us. You can have number 18 to beat us all day. So, I mean, and then they don't have a lot of tape on him, so he looking like he's doing good. But you give me LVE, and trust me, I was not a big fan of LVE. For those who out there watch the draft, I said, oh, man, he can't shed his block. He can't disengage, crash your field. I don't see the extra strength or the speed as it relates to vertical speed. He got good sideline to sideline speed. And I thought that he was soft. I thought that he was not going to be able to stay healthy. Let me knock on some wood because I need him. We need him out there now. But systems, you just never know how a player can pan out when he gets into a certain system. And with this system, and with Sean Lee teaching and coaching him and putting him in right places, we just didn't see this, guys. LVE, although he have yet to get a fumble or interception, he is so solid, guys. Go back and watch my film session. For those who not following my Law Nation YouTube page or Facebook page, shame on you. Go follow those pages and watch my film breakdown. You can see a lot of good stuff, a lot of good ingredients. A lot of good ingredients, man. And on top of that, I got good news. I got one more month before they turn my Law Nation's YouTube page back on, my live stream abilities, my main page, so that I won't be talking to a wall. It's kind of feel funny, man. I'll go live on my Law Nation 2.0 page, and I have like 3 or 4 people in there. But it's all good. We're going to come back. We're going to bounce this thing back. But LVE is doing a good job, man. Really really at the moment, but LVE is in the long run. This is from 9. Yeah, man, you right, man. Now you have some good thoughts out there, man. LVE is looking pretty good so far. Freely spoken. Yeah, I like that name, man. Yeah, he's doing a good job. Toby, man, I appreciate you, man. Salute, man. Wherever you going, be safe. Get ready, get locked, loaded, and ready for tomorrow. Wear that lucky hat, wear that lucky T-shirt, lucky socks, and everything else that's lucky. Whatever you did last week, do the same thing, because we need every inch and every possible luck that we can find. Yes, indeed. You guys know how this thing goes. I'm not superstitious, but, you know. Damn it, we need every help that we can find. Yes, indeed, man. Blessings, I appreciate it, man. God bless you, man. Hope you have a wonderful night. Oh, gracious Father, may God bless you. Yeah, wear that shirt again. Wear that Ezekiel Elliott shirt. Wear that shirt until we lose, man. That's what we got to do. We got to do this thing, man. We got to win. We must win. Right now, this game is everybody. It's prime time. Look, let's level out the pros of the game. It's prime time. And I ain't talking Deion Sanders. It's prime time. We going to be live. And on top of that, I think that the Houston Texans not used to playing at night on prime time, so we should have one up on Cowboys, right? Then on top of that, I think that this team is more of a turf team, meaning that the Cowboys play better inside the dome, and I think that we play better when it's on one of those turf. I think that calms down Ezekiel Elliott. I think that he can plant his foot and he can get upfield faster. I think that Dak Prescott, with the elements being perfect and not pouring down rain, because it was raining that first game, and the field was kind of slick, but I ain't going to use that as an excuse. And then also the Seattle Seahawks game, the noise and the environment was just rare. You know, it's hard for look, right now, I kid you not, and I'm not trying to pull out stats just to give my Cowboys an excuse, but stats, you can't just avoid them. That's what I deal with all day. I'm an analyst, so I deal with numbers all day. You can see the propensities of things. You can forecast and see things out there. And then when you're talking about the Seattle Seahawks, I'm going back before I go forward. You talk about the Seattle Seahawks, they were 14. It was 14. Out of the last 15 games, they won 14 games on their home opener since 2003. So you think that we was going to go down there and put a mud hole in them, and then on top of that, it's something about the temperament of the game. Although I would say this, we lost that game more than than they won it. But dog it, come hell and high water, those mistakes. I said this before. I said that bad game from Ezekiel Elliott, you will not see multiple games like that. He's crafty, he's smart, he's very intelligent, got a high football IQ, and he will bounce back the next game. A lot of people are like, nah. And he did. He bounced back. Although he still got to hold that ball a little bit better, though. Shout out to you, man. BK. But other teams play what is this? But other team players play week of being eligible. Y'all must be talking about Irvin is not playing. Yeah, I don't know. What y'all talking about? The last thing Richard should be our head coach. I don't know, man. Jerry, it's more to being a Cowboys coach. I think it's a lot of things going on. And what I'm saying is when a lot of things going on is that looking back, I think it's like being part of a country club, man. And you got to be in a certain, frame of mind. I think you guys watch the beginning of the year when they be going out to eat and they be having like the coaches round table. I trust me, I love Richard, but I don't think that he's going to be able to gel in with that right now. He's still wet behind the ear. So if you elevate Richard as the head coach, then you got to go out and find your offensive coordinator from the jump. You got to find out who's going to be willing to come in and work hand to hand with him, and he's going to have to develop his staff. So if you remove Jason Garrett you remove his philosophy, and then you remove a third of his team. And then because you're going to have Jason Garrett goes, Scott Linehan and all the rest of the guys go. And I do understand that at this point in time, it's not fashionable to say, okay, we need Scott Linehan and we need this guy and that guy. But you talking about scrapping your whole entire team as far as coaching. And then what coaches do. We saw how the special team coach, when he left, he went and grabbed everybody that he knew for the Cowboys. So you're going to have that factor that comes into play too. So a lot of players, they may still like what Linehan or they may still like what Jason Garrett is spitting out or clapping out. I don't know, man. I don't know, man. We're going to have to figure out something, though. If I don't know, man. It had to be somebody that can gel well with Jerry Jones and not rub him the wrong way. Johnny, what's good, man? Thank you for tuning in. Thank you for tuning in to the nation. I'm out. God bless. Cowboys on top 9. Appreciate you, man. I'm finna be out too, man. I got to go fix me a sandwich or something. I'm hungry as all get out. But I really appreciate all you guys for tuning in to the nation. It's always a pleasure. It's always a plus, man. Don't forget to hit that share button, subscribe to the channel. Tell people that, hey, you got a guy that loves to talk about Cowboys. Do film breakdown, film sessions. One way or another, he sit there and he talk about the Cowboys. He go live like 95. He's country. He's from Mississippi. He don't give a dog about this and that, and he's not. He call a spade, that type of stuff, and he's real, man. I'm authentic, man. I try to be genuine with you guys. I don't try to be all fake and stuff and phony. And I got a podcast. So if you're on the road, you're traveling around, being around, getting around, if you want to join that podcast, that's LAW Nation. Join that, guys. And we'll sit back and we'll talk about this thing another day. That's all the time I have for right now. I really thank you all for yours. And remember, when the end comes for me, let it find me conquering a new mountain, not sliding down an old one. And you're listening in to nothing but the best. Salute. I'm out. Peace.